Hello and welcome to my Facebook page. I'm Judith Patterson. I'm an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator in Texas, and I appreciate you taking time out of your busy day to join me here on Facebook. If you're watching this as the replay, I will have it up on Facebook and YouTube. So if you're watching the replay, just hit hashtag replay in the comments if you're on Facebook and let me know you've seen it. And if you're here live with me, then go ahead and say hi. Let me know that you're here. I can't always, in fact, usually I can't see if anyone is here with me with this program that I use to go live so that I can do two different cameras. So I use two different cameras while I am recording so that you can see my desk while I'm crafting and my face when I'm just sitting here chatting with you. So if you have any questions, anything that you would like answered about Stampin' Up! Or stamping and paper crafting, then tonight is a great time. Hey, Rosemary, to ask those questions. Are you staying warm? So, as you know, a lot of times I give you a weather update whenever I'm on here. And I tell you what, our weather in Texas has been bananas this month. It's been 83 to 12. Like, it has been really cold for us. And but it's also been really nice and wonderfully warm. And we just don't know what we're going to get from day to day or even within the same day. So right now we're super cold again. Good. Good. We have not gone anywhere in 2 days just because it's cold outside. And in spots, a little icy too. So that's never fun. Okay, so celebration is almost over. February 28th is the very last day to be able to place an order and get celebration goodies. So just wanted to make sure that you're aware that there's only, I think, 4 days left where you can take advantage of that fun special. And then today we're going to be actually making a card with this Best Year stamp set, which is a fabulous one if you need sentiments for pretty much anything. And I'm going to be using the Sweet Symmetry Designer Series paper. So I love these colors in this paper. Yeah, yeah, you were. Yeah, I'm hoping that this is the last one of these that we get. I don't want any more of this cold weather. I'm ready for spring. Very ready for spring. All right, let me go ahead and switch my camera around. And so I'm going to be using the Hello stamp. And I think that's the only stamp I'm actually going to be using this time. Okay, so I have a Night of Navy card base. It's cut 8.5 inches by 5.5 inches, and it's scored at 4 1/4. And then I have a piece of this Sweet Symmetry DSP. Isn't that pretty? And it's cut 4 inches by 5 1/4 inches. So the first thing I'm going to do is just go ahead and glue this to the front of my card. I like using that liquid glue because it gives me a minute to adjust my cardstock and get it right where I want it. I'm using the Night of Navy ink and this little Hello stamp. I'm just going to stamp that kind of in the center vertically and kind of off to the side. I'm going to be cutting it out with my oval punch in just a minute. So I'm going to let that ink sit for just a second so it's nice and dry. And then I also have my Pick a Banners punch, or Banners Pick a Punch. It cuts 1/2 inch, 3/4 inch, and 1 inch wide strips of paper that you can make a banner with. So I have 3 different strips here. One's 1/2 inch, one is 3/4 of an inch, and one is 1 inch. And I think this one's 4 inches wide. This one is 3 3/4 inches, and this one I believe is 3 1/4 inches. So just make sure you're using the right one. We have 2 different options for our banner ends on this punch. So I want this one with the pointy ends. So I just always turn it upside down so I can see where I'm punching, and so that I can make sure that my cardstock is actually in the center there. And I'm going to go ahead and punch both sides. And you can adjust it if you don't want it to go all the way to the end. You could pull it out some. I'm going to have mine all the way to the end though. Actually, I'm going to be using that side. This is probably one of my most used punches because banners are so easy to add to the card, and they always just lighten it up a little bit. Lighten it up? That's probably not the right word. Jazz it up a little bit. I really like this card layout because it can be changed and used with pretty much any stamp set or designer series paper. And I like it too because it shows off so many of the patterns of designer series paper that we have. So I'm just going to go ahead and not do that yet. I'm getting my white twine. I almost forgot this step. So I don't always use this one when I'm making this card, but I thought it was a fun little touch for this. So just wrapping the twine around this bigger piece, and I'm going to tie a little bow on the right hand side. Just make sure you don't tie it too tightly. You don't want your cardstock to bow up in the middle. Just adjusting my bow a tiny bit. Okay. Now I'm ready to go ahead and glue these pieces on. So this bottom one, I want the green side up. Of course, you can do it however you want to on your card, but I wanted a semi-solid piece, solid color on the bottom, and then this fun one in the middle. And then got to hold it down just a little bit more because with this twine it's wanting to pop up. And then another semi-solid on the top. Okay, so I'm going to take this double oval punch now. And this one's really cool because you have the background punch and then the front punch, or you can use them just one at a time if you wanted to. But I want the knot of navy with the scalloped oval. And then I'm going to punch this hello out with the smooth oval. So I'm going to glue this white piece to the navy piece. And then I'm going to use my dimensionals and attach this to the front of my card near that ribbon. little crooked there. There we go. Then my last step for the front of this card, I think I put them up. So I'm going to use my Iridescent Rhinestones again. I've been using these a lot lately. I just can't seem to get enough of them. So I'm going to just put one here, and I'm using the small ones, but you can use whichever size you want. This one has 3 different sizes of gems. So we've got these fairly large ones, and then this medium size, and then smaller. So I'm using the smaller, but you can use, like I said, whatever size. So that is how the card turns out. So cute. Simple, quick. And then for the inside, if you want to, you can add a scrap. I forgot to grab one for this. A scrap of the designer series paper along the top of a piece of basic white on the inside. And for the envelope, I like to dress my envelopes up too. So I like to get my silicone mat, because it can get sticky, and then as the glue dries off, you can just peel it right off and clean it up real easy. Or the other way I clean this is with a microfiber towel and hand sanitizer. I just squirt hand sanitizer on it a little bit. So I don't want the adhesive on my desk. So I'm going to keep it all on this mat. And when you're doing this, you want to get right up to the edge as close as possible, because you want it to have a good seal around the edges, so if you mail it, it doesn't get caught in any of the machines and tear open or get stuck. So I just smooth that on there and fold it closed to make sure it's up to the edge. Then I can flip it upside down and just trim off all the extra bits. There we go. So now I have a perfectly matching envelope to go with my card. And it takes no time at all, just a little bit of designer series paper. So when I do this, I always cut my designer series paper 2 1/4 by 6 inches. And then this is all that's left from that size of DSP after I decorate the envelope flap. And this is for our Stampin' Up! Medium size envelopes. Okay, I wanted to show you, I also had a little play with these yesterday. It's the same sketch, and in fact, for the first time, I made a little sketch on the computer so that you can see how the first card that I made was actually this one here. Using the Sunshine and Rainbows designer series paper. And this is also from the same Best Year stamp set. And then I used the Cloud Punch instead of the Oval Punch. So then I used the Flowering Fields designer series paper. And these, you can see, are vertical, where the one I made just now is horizontal. So you can take these sketches and flip them whatever way you want to. And it makes it really versatile so that you can use pretty much any stamp set, any designer series paper, and you're good to go. And you can get a completely different look every time. So you can see on this one, all right, I'm going to turn it back to my desktop. That's just too confusing. Okay, so on this one, I had my banners up just a little bit higher and squished in a little bit more. And where this one I brought them down lower and spaced them out a little bit more. So, and then this one too. So I thought that would be fun. I will leave a link in the description for that card sketch, so you can take it and make your version of this card too, which will be totally different, I'm sure, from the ones that I did. So let me know if you have any questions. And if not, I'm going to go ahead and sign off for tonight. And I just appreciate you watching, and I will see you next week. Same time, same place. Happy stamping!